under 40 leaders in the United States. He is the dynamic, new, popular congressman from Michigan, Representative Amash.
I think maybe it's time we audit the RNC. I want to say it's a real honor and privilege to be here, and I just want to give a thank you to Dr. Paul. I think he deserves a round of applause because we wouldn't be here without him. A few years ago, I was like you. I was excited about liberty. I was learning the ropes, and I was hearing about Dr. Paul. And here I am today. It's really amazing what you do when you work at it. And all of you have the opportunity to make a real impact on this world in different ways. Sometimes I'm asked what it's like to work with Ron Paul. Well, it's awesome. One of the things about Dr. Paul on the House floor, he's a very humble man. If you look at the board, the voting board, if you see a vote that's something to 2, he's not alone anymore. But if it's more than something to 2 or 3, you can count on Dr. Paul being up there. People love Dr. Paul on the House floor. As much as, when it comes to the campaign trail, you didn't see that many endorsements from his colleagues. But I can tell you, on the House floor, every single one is asking for his endorsement. I see colleagues coming up all the time asking Dr. Paul for endorsements. It's amazing because of the impact he's had on our country and on the Republican Party. And he's extremely kind to them, even if we can't give him an endorsement. Every Thursday, he holds lunches in his office. They haven't happened every Thursday consistently during the campaign, but generally speaking, he's got these lunches in his office. And it's a wonderful opportunity to bring in his colleagues for a chance to introduce them to new ideas. So Ron Paul has been educating people. He's been educating not just people at home, but people in Congress. And I can tell you he's making a big difference. What does it mean to be Dr. No? Well, he sometimes gets a bad rap for being Dr. No, but actually what he's saying no to are unconstitutional actions. And when he says no to violating the Constitution, he's saying yes to all of you. He's saying yes to limited government, to economic freedom, to individual liberty. Sometimes I'm asked, are you the next Ron Paul? Is someone else the next Ron Paul? Who's going to be the next Ron Paul? I can tell you, there is no next Ron Paul. Ron Paul is one of a kind. Nobody can replace Ron Paul. Nobody. But there are many new champions. We're going to come from all different backgrounds. We're going to focus on different things. And the important thing to do is to focus on what unites us. We're all part of this liberty movement. Sometimes we're going to disagree. We don't have to get at each other's throats because we disagree on certain issues. The point is that For me, one of the big impacts on my life were my parents. My parents came to this country as immigrants. My dad came to this country very poor. Very poor. They moved to Michigan. I was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So my dad came to this country very, very poor. And he built a small business, a successful small business. But that's right. President Obama he didn't build it. But he built a successful small business. No thanks to people like President Obama. And what he used to tell us growing up, I had two brothers who used to tell all of us what a wonderful country this was. A land of opportunity, where you can come here and you can determine your own destiny. Your destiny wasn't decided by the government. And that's what I'm here to protect. That's what we're all here fighting for, opportunity. I'm often asked, why are politicians so partisan? There's all these partisan politicians. I'll tell you why there's so much partisan rhetoric in Congress. It's because they don't have principles. When you don't have principles, you have to resort to the sharp partisan rhetoric. The people who have principles can back it up with their voting records. And I can tell you, the GOP is changing slowly but surely. We're an example of that change right here. We've seen Republicans and Democrats move to audit the Fed in the House. We've seen more and more Republicans calling for a stable currency.
Oh, yeah,
That's him, right?
The reason Republicans are doing this is because of people like Ron Paul. Because Ron Paul's message is going to people at home, and you are talking to your representatives about it, and you are changing the party. But you know, Democrats and independents are attracted to the message as well. This is not just a Republican thing. Democrats and independents are coming over to the liberty movement. When you see the current president in office, President Obama, it's not easy to see why the liberty movement is getting support from the Democrats. President Obama has continued a policy of undeclared wars. He signed into law a bill to restrict speech, H.R. 347. He's been pushing for an increase in drone activity, even over the U.S. He has a kill list. And he signed into law the National Defense Authorization Act. Which is one of the most outrageous pieces of legislation I've ever seen. When I heard about it, I immediately took action and took the lead on this issue, because we need to fight for our rights in this country. For those who don't know about the NDAA, and I'm assuming most people in this room do, but for those at home, I want to tell you about it. It allows the federal government to come into your home, right here in the United States, pull you out of your home, give you no charges, no trial, and detain you indefinitely, simply upon the accusation that you are associated with terrorists. Together, we're changing the GOP from the bottom up. In my county, things are changing